before anything else. Part 3 will come later because I got into a front end collision, unfortunately. So, car's kind of fucked. Just a sneak peek. We're doing a valve cover video. Part 3 will come soon enough, but I was more focused on fixing this and filming it. So, most of that's just gonna be things I've saved from Snapchat. So it won't be the best, I apologize, but it's coming back apart soon enough anyways. Also, the hood's only crooked because of how I have the other valve cover in there. Anyways, let's begin. The thing I'm doing before my valve cover is just gonna be almost there. Now, if you want to do something like this yourself, you want to pick up a high-speed drill or Dremel or something like that. I'm using a 3-inch wire wheel, and then for the smaller stuff, I'm going to use 3/4 inch. And it's really easy. You just go on it, and don't press down too hard or else you're going to score it up. And just get it until it's about pretty smooth, not much left on it, not much gunk. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to go over just like this, just back and forth or up and down. While it's on, obviously, but I'm not doing this one-handed, right? You just, go over it until it's pretty smooth. Again, anyone can do it. And then soon, I'll replace the one that's just sitting on it so I don't get any gunk in it. And we will be good to go. I have the new gasket down there. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that yet. I got red and blue paint because I wasn't sure what color I was going to paint the car, but I've decided on black cherry. So we're going to do red, which also matches the stuff I have in the engine bay right now. Also, I haven't really made any progress on this door at all with the little broken thing, but it comes off there, so I might just disconnect it since this wire doesn't really, the distance doesn't matter. I might just wrap it around or something and put it on anyways from the other door. And whenever I do that, I need to go back through, re-straighten this. The hood's only popped up like this because of how I have the valve cover sitting. It's not all the way on. Part of it is a little bit bent, so this headlight's stuck there, and that's why I can't get this bumper on all the way. So I'll redo it whenever I take everything off for the door. But I just had to get it running because I don't have any other car right now. Because, everyone else has been using the Camry, and the Accord is far away. I'm just going through, blowing this all out with compressed air before we go and paint it. Now you want to go through and clean this thing out. I'm using acetone or rag to get all this oil out, all the little sediment that might have come in, and then we'll get to painting. I'm really getting in here trying to get a lot of the stuff out everywhere you can. And then here, compressed air or pressure washer or something will help get it out. Just make sure you dry it out before you put it back on. And now we're ready to paint. Went over this a bit with some sandpaper, about 200 or 300 grit will work fine. Get it nice and shiny. One more thing though, you want to tape off any lettering, oil hole, PCV valve. You want to tape off this too, just so no paint gets into it. We're gonna cut it, try and carve it around the letters, but for now I'm just trying to get all the air bubbles out. As y'all can see, just push down, try and get some of it out. You won't get all of it, but that's all right, as it turns out. tape isn't really working well, so we're gonna try and coat this with like dish soap or something. Worst comes to worst, we'll just sand it down whenever we paint it using one of those sandpaper blocks. You're gonna need some dish soap, a little bowl, and a brush. We're gonna brush the letters with soap. Get extra on the metals, clean it up with some Q-tips. It's painting time. Alright, this is coat number 2 now. It's a little bit flat, so I'm gonna see if they sell like gloss or something that I can put on top of it. Doesn't need to look like that or anything, but you know, just a little bit better, a little bit more glossy instead of flat. Alright, we're done painting for today. So, it's raining and the light's not working. But I think it turned out pretty well. Tomorrow I'm gonna sand this down, take all the paint off, then put it back on with a gasket. Currently just sanding this down a little bit. All right, so I took this, cover off, and now it's time for us to put on this new valve cover, or freshly repainted. You want to take off all the tape, obviously, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll show you how to put it back on. All right, so once you're here, you want to put a cloth down underneath. Once you've taken off all the tape, you want to flip it over, like so. Go ahead and grab your gasket. Mine is over there somewhere, and put it on. All right, once you are here, you can go ahead and if you want to, on this inside part, you can put some Honda Bond or RTV or gasket maker on it. Just make sure it doesn't leak. I'm not going to, but if you're prone to leaking or you have maybe something on the motor that might be in the way, then go ahead. Just make sure it doesn't leak. Once your valve cover is roughly in place, you want to go ahead, go back to your new gasket. Have all these little silver things on it. You want to put those on all of these little studs. You want to put them on, and then you can put on your little hex caps. This is just, again, preventing it from leaking. Okay, so the torque spec for these little things, I believe, is 8 foot-pounds. In the sequence, you want to start with the middle one and go out, and then here and here. But again, it's only 8 foot-pounds, so don't over torque it, or else you'll probably be leaking. So go ahead, grab, I don't remember where I put it. Go ahead, grab a little ratchet like this. Let's get it a little bit tight. All right. All right. Once you have all these torqued down, you want to start reconnecting everything. So you want to put the PCV back in. Don't forget this ground. And actually, I might need to do a little bit of sanding down here, because it is a ground. So if you don't sand it and there's just paint in the way and it can't touch the metal, then it's not going to ground out. You want to put these back in the same order. So I labeled mine 4. This one is 3. Then we have 2. This is 2 is the one that was leaking a ton, so it'll be interesting to see what it does. And 1. Probably should have put this in a different order, to be honest, because here we go. So now those are in. We want to reinstall the oil cap. Here we go. And then reinstall this too. Remember, you want to put the positive in and then ground it. It shouldn't really matter because the battery's disconnected. Which is another thing. Disconnect your battery, because otherwise these are going to spark when you take them off. and you might short something. So just be careful. And once everything's reconnected, stand back and admire your work. This actually looks really good. I'm really happy with this, to be honest. So enjoy your work. Make sure nothing leaks when you turn it on. And for once, she's idling properly, even while cold. Looks like I finished off this video with my Cam's Prelude loping.